Welcome to the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, your trusted source for expert guidance on aging safely and independently. Whether you're a caregiver, a family member, or a senior looking to stay secure at home and beyond, we've got you covered. From fall prevention and home modifications to financial safety and scam awareness, we provide practical tips to help you or your loved ones live with confidence. Tune in and empower yourself with the knowledge you need to navigate the challenges of aging. Let's make safety simple.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Senior Safety Advice, the podcast where we dive into topics that matter most to older adults and their loved ones. I'm Esther Kane, a retired occupational therapist and an aging in place specialist and dementia care specialist as well. And today we're tackling a subject that's both timely and timeless. The topic is staying socially connected and combating loneliness in older age. I myself am in the latter part of my 60s. I am widowed, so I know exactly what it means to deal with loneliness in older age. So I hope that my experience and the information that I give you can help you and or a loved one. So whether you're tuning in for yourself or someone you care about or aging parent, this episode is packed, or I've packed it with insights and tips and a little bit of fun, hopefully, to help you and or your loved ones stay socially engaged, which at the end of the day keeps you younger and vibrant and active. So grab a cup of tea, coffee, whatever, get comfy, and let's get started. So I want to start with just why social connection matters. Let's start why that's so important. So did you know that loneliness can have the same impact on your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day? I know, that's crazy. You heard that right. Yeah. Studies show that social isolation is linked to higher risks of chronic illnesses like heart disease, depression, and even cognitive decline, which is very similar to the effects of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. But here's the good news. Staying socially active can actually improve your mental health, boost your self-esteem, and even help you to live longer. Of course, because your mental health and self-esteem are higher, you're going to be more happier. And, being happier and having an optimistic viewpoint or perspectives can always improve your life. And it's not about necessarily living longer. It's about the quality of life for as long as you live. I think that's the most important factor. When we engage with others, our brains literally light up. Conversations, laughter, and shared experiences, all of these stimulate cognitive function and release those really feel-good chemicals like dopamine. It's not just about avoiding loneliness. It's about thriving mentally, emotionally, and physically. Now, I want to make the comparison that just because you're alone doesn't mean that you're lonely. I myself am a bit of an introvert, so I cherish my alone time. I need my alone time. Being with large groups of people is not comfortable for me. Being with, a couple or, one or two couples is fine. But beyond that, it becomes or it feels like work to me. It's not comfortable. But that's the introvert in me. So I want to emphasize that just because someone is alone does not necessarily mean that they're lonely, at least not all the time. But of course, being human, we all do need companionship, hopefully from another human, but there are quite a few people who can get that companionship from their pets, which I think is very important. If you do live alone, I think it's very important to have a pet. I don't care if it's a fish or a bird, a rabbit, a dog, a cat, ferret, whatever. Just the fact that you have to care for another living thing can give your life a small sense of purpose. And then you want to continue building on that. If you are a pet-oriented type of person, then of course, volunteering at a pet shelter is a great way to continue that, to expand that. So in order to avoid long bouts of loneliness. So what are the challenges really of staying connected? Well, staying connected isn't always easy as we get older. Maybe you've moved to a new area, you're downsized to a new area. You lost touch with old friends. Maybe old friends have moved on. Maybe they're the ones that moved or passed away. Maybe you're facing mobility challenges. Maybe they're facing mobility challenges. These barriers are common, but they're not insurmountable. One big issue that can help with some of that is technology. With programs and platforms like Zoom or FaceTime or WhatsApp, those programs can bridge distances with video, video meetings, video chats, that's the word, and learning how to use them may seem daunting to some older adults, but believe me, it's worth it. It's worth learning them. My mom-in-law, who died at 102, was still using Zoom at 98 and 99 years old. She learned to use it because for her, as her mobility declined, it was much easier for her to join groups. She had a poetry group. She had a singing group, and I forget what other. She was in 3 or 4 online Zoom calls that she participated in several times during the week. So for her, it was a great way to connect with others. Another challenge, I think, for anyone, not necessarily just older adults, is finding opportunities for meaningful interaction. It's not just about being around people. It's about forming connections that add joy and purpose to your life. So you want to look for organizations and clubs and groups that are of interest to you. So if you're environmentally conscious, you would look at things like the Sierra Club. I know that they often meet and they have events that they go to and so forth. If you can't join things like that and you need to because of mobility issues, then you can certainly look online. There are so many places that you can look for Zoom groups, online groups, meetup groups online that you can connect with and, talk about the topics that are of interest to you, whatever it is, economics, politics, history, Greek history, religion, any quilting, birding, woodwork. There's so many different, books. If you're a reader and you want to join book clubs, my sister, who's in her 70s, belongs to 3 book clubs. 1 she goes to physically and 2 are online. So she, connects with people. She loves to read and she connects with all those people and loves to discuss all the books that she's reading with them. So there are definitely ways that you can overcome the challenges and the obstacles. And of course, don't be swayed away from the task if you join a group and it just ends up being not right for you. It's the topics aren't right, the people that are in it maybe aren't right, or it's not what you thought it was going to be. Don't be shy about leaving that group and then moving on to something else. You can look for a lot of these even on Facebook. Facebook, of course, I'm not a fan of social media commenting because with social media, you're faceless. You can say anything you want, without repercussions, really. I think personally that it's better to use social media to find things that you can join and participate in, but not necessarily just use Facebook friends, which of course we all know aren't really your friends. They're just Facebook people, I think. personally. Of course, if you can participate in physical activities, in your particular area, look for walking clubs, look for activities in a local community center. If you are looking to downsize, look for communities that are walkable, where you can walk maybe to restaurants, to the library, anything like that, local parks. And if you can't find local groups in your area, maybe you might want to think about starting one. A walking club is an easy one to start, and that a lot of people are looking for things to do, but they don't quite know how to start. Volunteering, of course, is another great way to participate, to fight isolation and loneliness. Again, look for organizations, be it the food bank, be it something at a church or in your church. Look for something in your community, maybe a children's choir or children's drama club, anything like that. Volunteer at schools. Libraries, school libraries are always looking for people to come in and read books to especially, first, second, and I don't know if they do it for third graders, but anyway, anything like that, anything that is of your interest that you would like to continue participating in. One of the things that I love doing is learning. So take classes. I mean, lifelong learning is such an amazing opportunity that we have these days that many generations before us did not. It's a great way to meet new people. Colleges offer classes for free for older adults, or classes where you can I think, what's the phrase, you audit out. Community centers, of course, offer classes in art or cooking, technology. Head over to the Apple Store, learn how to use everything they have. Take classes online. Prompt engineering is a great thing to start learning. It's not that difficult. It's just teaches you how to talk to all these new AI programs that are popping up. You'll have so many amazing stories to tell your group of friends as you learn all of this. If you're interested in history, if you're interested in science, politics, anything at all, take classes, read books. Or if you can't find any, look for, post it. Look for people in your area that may be interested in a particular topic, and get together once a month and have a discussion about what you learned about that particular topic together. But learning and keep learning, I think, is the thing that keeps you young more than anything. Well, exercise definitely keeps your body young, but learning keeps your mind young. I think it's so important to keep learning as you grow older. And of course, don't shy away from technology. Anything like Zoom and WhatsApp and FaceTime, all the email programs, of course, and then, any of the new AI programs that are coming out, amazing video games. As I said in the last podcast, I have a friend who connects with her grandfather via a video game. They each play in their own video game. They have their own avatar. It's very cool. So it's a great way to keep connecting with others. And, intergenerational connections, I think, are so important. And that's one of the things I love about colleges, living in a college town, retiring in a college town, is that you're not just surrounded by people in your same age group, which can grow old and stale after a while. So having that connection with younger generations, and younger generations having the connection with older generations, is stimulating. You're learning from each other, you're engaging. I think it can be extremely, extremely rewarding. So consider coming out of your little bubble, if you are in that, and interacting or doing things with other generations. And don't forget senior centers. A lot of older adults that I know tend to shy away from senior centers, but You can volunteer at senior centers. You can help with activities, lunchtime, mealtime, whatever. I think that senior centers are always looking for volunteers, and nursing homes and assisted living places as well. They're always looking for anyone to help with activities, entertainment, anything at all. I think it's a wonderful way to connect with others and to get stories. I mean, one of the things that I've always loved about working with older adults are the stories. I love the stories that they tell. I think I said in my last podcast that I think everyone lives an extraordinary, ordinary life. And even though they may not think it's extraordinary, to others, it usually most likely is. So I think sharing stories, sharing your story and hearing other stories is a wonderful way to connect. So one thing I do want to say is don't ignore also podcasts. Podcasts can be a great way to feel connected because there's so many podcasts on so many topics. So pick your topic. It could be murder mystery. It could be true crime. It could be fictional stories, storytelling. It could be self-help. It could be economics. I love the podcast Freakonomics because they talk about economics in a very unique, beautiful way, and they explore areas that are not usually explored in typical economic podcasts. So Freakonomics is one of my favorites. Mel Robbins, I love listening to her for motivation and inspiration. And then I also listen to a lot of podcasts about AI, technology and how that's working, and also podcasts on creating podcasts and the benefit of them. So use them. They are a wonderful way. And hey, if you're brave enough, and I hope you are, I think that doing a podcast, telling your stories, giving advice from your perspective, from your life events and skills and experience is a great way to connect with others. One, you're learning a new skill. It's extremely inexpensive to create and run a podcast. It's creative. It gives you a purpose, and you're reaching out and you're helping others. I mean, what could possibly be the downside of doing a podcast? So I say to all older adults, especially if you're living alone, and if you're looking at issues of loneliness and isolation, think about creating a podcast. If you're nervous about the setup, get a younger person in your family, or a friend of the daughter of a friend or the son, whatever, and ask them to help you set it up. And believe me, once it's set up, you're just going to love doing it. It's just a great way to tell your story and to connect with others. And you get comments, and you can even make it a video as well. And then not only put it on a podcast, put it on YouTube as well. It's just a wonderful little tool. So think about it. Think about it. All right. So as we wrap up today's episode, remember this: staying socially connected isn't just about avoiding loneliness. It's about living a full life, whether it's joining a group, volunteering, learning something new, or simply picking up the phone to call an old friend. Every small effort every day counts. All right, if you enjoyed this episode from Senior Safety Advice, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out our website, seniorsafetyadvice.com. And if you have tips or stories about staying socially connected as an older adult, I'd love to hear from you. So, write the comments on this podcast, and let me know. Or fill out the contact form at our website, seniorsafetyadvice.com. All right. Thanks for listening today. Stay safe, connected, and as always, stay fabulous. Thanks.
That's it for today's episode of the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, helping you and your loved ones stay safe, independent, and informed. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to subscribe and share it with others who could benefit. For more expert tips and resources, visit seniorsafetyadvice.com. And remember, staying safe starts with staying informed. Until next time, take care and stay safe.